Hi, everyone. I'm Amy. Welcome to this joyful episode of Positively COVID. Today, I am so honored to be visiting with Sharon Miller of Joyworks. Joyworks is a UK-based, multi-award winning well-being center specializing in laughter yoga, corporate wellness, and mindfulness to reduce stress. Sharon is a certified laughter yoga instructor, keynote speaker, and resilience, and a trainer focused on fostering resilience, joy, and emotional health. And not only is that what Sharon does now, but her backstory, it's amazing. Before you did that, you were worked with the Scottish Opera, you were a primary school teacher. You at one point, you were a stilt walker in a circus, I remember hearing you say. I mean, just the epitome of joy.
Oh,
And 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 it's so important to know that in 2020, Sharon got COVID and
yeah.
struggled with long COVID for 18 months before healing. So it is such an honor to have Sharon here to discuss what joy is, how to cultivate joy, and and how the power of practicing joy can affect your health and your well-being. And I mean, right now, everyone get ready. I mean, just simply through osmosis, listening to Sharon,
Yeah.
and hopefully in this podcast, you will begin to that transformation of joy will begin. So, Sharon,
Oh,
so happy to have you here. Welcome and excited to hear more about Joyworks. I know you're in your 18th year, and
yeah.
I can't wait for you to just talk about really how joy does have a physiological effect on our body and our healing. And
Wow.
so take it away and please
Oh, what a
tell us.
what a lovely introduction. That's just phenomenal. Thank
Oh,
you.
well, thank you.
You did your research big time. And it is interesting after I speak or I do events and stuff, people actually come up and call me Joy. And I think,
Oh,
well, I'll take that. I'll take
yeah.
that because Sharon is like 1960s. I don't think anybody now is called Sharon. So what an absolute joyful introduction. My wee Chester's out like this.
Oh, good, good,
My
good.
heart's good. So yeah, we're all about. I think you all about creating joy for positive change and using the Joyworks method. It's a 360 method, and so we do use laughter yoga. I trained over 200 laughter yoga leaders in Scotland. So there's lots of laughter yoga happening in Scotland because there's 200 people out there training it, spreading the joy with laughter. But also we use creativity, music underscores all of it, breath, somatic work, regulation, neuroscience backed tools, ancient wisdom, positive psychology, and manifestation. Think mindset and manifestation. That's kind of in our Joy Academy membership. And the rest of the time, working in delivering events in the workplace, online and virtual. And I can't even believe I've been going 18 years. It feels like yesterday when I just started. So yeah, this is where it gets really, really powerful when we're thinking about what joy does. And I'm sure your listeners can think to a moment where they've experienced real joy, that kind of expansiveness, that's like really filling their joy cup up, really feeling connected, really feeling that sense of belonging, that meaning just from a wee moment of joy. And that's why it's different from happiness, right? It's really, and actually the research shows that it's different from happiness. It's a fundamental component of mental health and well-being, and advances in neuroscience, like you'll know, Amy, they show that we can cultivate joy. We can. It isn't just an emotion. It is a catalyst for change in our brain through the neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to recognize it. these moments of joy, we can't, we're not happy. Well, maybe like for a long time there with long COVID, not happy, but I did experience so many beautiful moments of
Mhm.
joy. The simple things like when I made it through to the living room, stroking the yellow velvet couch. I had so much appreciation for color, and I
Mhm.
used to always wear black, but then after long COVID, I'm like, oh, give me more color, give me more color, or just sitting at the window, lying flat on my couch and just watching the seagulls cackle, throw their heads back and cackle, or catching a sight of my wee robin, or the wee tiny moments where just, and I did a lot of work in prisons, and of course, they're not happy work, they're in prison. But my God, the joy that they experienced, So we can have all of these wee moments of joy, and with practice, they can bring a lot of happiness, and because it's, although it feels good in the moment, it creates long-term resilience and well-being, and it activates all the multiple areas of the brain. And I like to say, you won't get this. A lot of the listeners, unless they're in the UK, won't get this. But I like to say, when we're in joy, our brain lights up like the Blackpool illuminations. It's a fairground down in a beach, a big fairground. Because it, activates the brain's prefrontal cortex, and that's the area responsible for focus, decision making, and creativity. And that activates the stress, the stress and cortisol decreases, and of course that creates mental clarity, emotional balance, and just the ability to approach challenge with confidence and ease. And all of, like, when the recent research, the World Happiness Report. Did you read it, Amy? The
Say
World
that again.
Happiness Report. The World Happiness Report
Yes,
2026.
yes,
Yeah. And it's just saying exactly what we're saying, although it's saying it's for happiness, and I don't disagree. I disagree. It's joy they're talking about,
joy.
not happiness.
Yeah.
But that whole broaden and building on what's already there. It's not we're trying to fix something that's broken. It's like we're building on what's already good, right? And
Hmm.
that's kind of, and that the research for with Barbara Fredrickson, she, all of her research is all about that, the broaden and build theory, where positive emotions actually expand our cognitive capacity, our creativity, and our problem solving, right? Professor Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, I hope I pronounced that right. He did 30 years research in happiness, and when he talks about being in this flow state which we're in, when we're in joy. I like to call it bubbling bliss. I remember when I was in the ashram in India, and I'd done this like really intensive yoga meditation, doing 4 hours a day yoga and meditation, and a guy had invited me back to Dubai, and I was happy that he had, invited me to Dubai. But see, when I got off, I don't know whether you've been to Dubai airport, but you're standing at the top, looking down to everybody in the airport, and just tears of joy,
Oh,
just how beautiful and varied. We are as people, and how, and just feeling that sense of I'm absolutely connected to every one of you here, no matter where you're going, right?
yes.
And and studies show that positive emotional states are linked to lower inflammation markers, better immune response, and faster cardiovascular vascular recovery after stress. So it's a biological resource for healing and resilience, right? It's a
Yes.
biological resource.
And it's one that needs to be practiced because
Yes,
we one forget, and
yes,
it's often it's a practicing and it's a remembering of when
yes,
we were younger and when
yes,
it came more naturally, and
yes,
life can be so serious, and it's it's important, especially when we're trying to heal. Yes, we're
Yeah,
trying to figure things out and we're trying to
yeah,
find out what is the problem, but often that then takes us too into it, too serious to where
yes,
we
yeah,
need to back off a little bit. I remember during my Buddhist study working with a teacher that I was really intent on figuring out
yeah,
these teachings and these sutras and oh impermanence and the
yes.
emptiness and I remember visiting with him and really intense. And he said, well, I think I know what you need. And oh, I hung on his every word. I was waiting for this teaching, for this answer. And he said, you need to lighten up.
Yes,
And I was like,
yes.
oh, and it's still just one of the best pieces of advice
Yeah,
I got. And
oh, absolutely. My grandpa, I always say don't let the dimples kid you, because we're on video so you can see them, really big dimples.
they're
I filled them
wonderful.
in with putty when the workmen were putting new windows in, actually putty, to cement because I was embarrassed about them, but now I'm not, now I love them. But my grandpa who brought me up always used to say, oh, hen, you're off a serious, you want to lighten up. And I often think he's got a hand in what I've been doing for a living for the last 18 years, because he died just before I started,
Oh,
this. So yeah, we can all be, and especially the world that we're living in just now, right? We can be forgiven for being too serious. Absolutely, we can be forgiven. And Brené Brown talks about how joy is one of the most vulnerable of emotions. And
mm,
that's why we don't feel it as much, because we push it away. We think, we think our bubble's going to burst, and if we really, really enjoy it, then, something, we won't get to keep it. And, all her research shows that. So it definitely has to be something we intentionally choose. And we intentionally choose it again and again and again. My boyfriend's quite positive, but there was one day we were in holiday in Lisbon, and we were walking in I don't know whether you've been to Lisbon. There's a beautiful big white arch, marble arch, and it looks onto the sea, and it's just absolutely breathtaking. And I turned around to him and said, isn't that amazing? He went, yeah, it's all right. I went, joy's a practice. It's a practice. I get really, and it's a bit bigging up the wee things. It's a bit bigging out the wee things to drown out the negativity. Because when we big out the wee things, it trains our brain to look for more wee things that create more joy for us.
right. It's so important. They
Yeah.
say that, you know, and I did this when I had long COVID. I kept a diary of my symptoms, a symptom
Yes.
tracker,
Yes.
which really kept me more focused on the symptoms and more
Yes.
aware. And what's this? Oh, this and this and this and this and this.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we should have a laughter tracker. How many times have you laughed today? How many? Or just like, I did
I love it. I
one
love
of
it.
your
How many
face.
times did you experience joy today?
Right.
That is the sign of a good life. Yeah.
Right. And I did one of your Facebook online challenges where we had to write, and I can't remember what the prompt was now, but we had to write something joyful or something that brought us joy in that day. And then I was looking for it throughout the day. So
Yes.
it turns those parts of our brain on, but
Yes.
we have to practice it. We can't just, because as you said, which is interesting to me, that joy, that part of us it's a vulnerable emotion, and so
Yeah.
it can get crowded out unless we're like, no, come on, we're doing this.
I'm ready for it. I'm
I'm ready.
owning it. I deserve it. I'm worthy of it. I might be unwell. I might not be able to do all the things that I used to do, but I deserve to fill my joy cup often. I deserve to laugh. I deserve to shout about the good stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
And so
Yeah.
what tell us what would be some of your daily techniques that people can turn to? Because it's the concept, yes, I need to connect to joy, but I
Yes.
think it helps
Well,
just
exactly. And asking somebody to connect to joy, when I think back to when I wasn't able to talk, I wasn't able to walk, I wasn't able to get out the flat for 3 months, asking me to, right at the very beginning, asking me to cultivate more joy. That's like asking somebody to get up and dance when a fire alarm's going off, right? Or, want to watch Netflix on your phone when your phone's only at 1%, right?
Yeah.
So it's baby steps, and it's all about, where we are in our nervous system, making, the more safe, when we feel safe, we'll experience more joy, right? We'll experience
Mm,
more joy. And it's so interesting in our Joy Academy. I'm going to share three of the favorite techniques from our Joy Academy. Um, and will I share them now, Amy? Will I share
sure,
them now?
sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
So these are just the three that they always go back to. We have a joy trigger checklist, and we change it every quarter, and we have a list of like 15 2-minute joy triggers, because it's all about the wee things. I keep saying that, but it's all about the wee things and making it a habit, and then ticking them off at night when we're brushing our teeth. So it's not like, oh, here's another thing, I've got to feel joyful. Oh God, I've got to feel joyful. I've got to have more joy in my life, right? It's not about that. It's about knowing what the wee joy triggers are, and then at the end of the night when you brush your teeth, oh, I did that one. Oh, I did that one, and ticking them off. I'm an ex-teacher, as you shared, so I love giving myself wee ticks. And actually, I had a huge chart that I made for myself when I had long COVID, and it was all of that kind of stuff, just ticking it off at the end of the night, so you could see your progress. Because a lot of the time, you can't see your progress when you've got a chronic condition, right?
Mm,
Um, so the first one is so simple, is a hug.
mm,
It's just a wee hug. Coming back to your own wee self, knowing that you are in charge, knowing that you can comfort yourself, knowing that you can create safety for yourself,
mm,
knowing that all is well. And then you could maybe, if you're in a high emotional state, then you could maybe do a wee butterfly hug. You know that one, Amy?
Butterfly.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was called that.
wee butterfly hug. So that really reduces the emotional intensity like that. And of course, because we're all about joy, we add a wee bit of laughter to it.
Uh,
But sometimes you're not up for the laughter. Sometimes you just need a wee bit. And you can do it like that as well, right? So that's one. Just, because we forget that we can create that safety for ourselves, and and they say that we need a hug, we need 8 seconds, we need, as long as 8 seconds to get the oxytocin and the beautiful positive chemicals, right? And I live in my own, so I hug myself all the time. Yeah, yeah, I love it. So, and that's the first one. And the second one is rampages. Have you heard of rampages, Amy?
no,
No.
no.
Well, it's so funny because we had a new lady, and just you're saying about when you expect joy, you get joy. One of our ladies who joined that hadn't been for a long, she hadn't been able to come to the session, so she joined, but she hadn't been able to come to sessions, and she messaged me and said, "I keep see because I joined, I'm experiencing more joy. I think just because she had joined,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. You
and so."
primed the brain.
Primed the brain. And here's the thing. So she came, and it made me think, all right, I need to be a wee bit clearer when you join the Joy Academy, what things are. So she came, and I said, so we're just doing our rampages just now. And she started rampaging about everything that wasn't working. I couldn't get a parking space. I couldn't find a space to park. I thought I was going to late, and I've got a workshop later, and I don't know whether I'm prepared enough for it. And I said, yeah, they're the kind of rampages we all do, right?
Yeah,
We all, you do them, Amy, I do them,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We do them. We do these kind of rampages. But the rampages that we do in the Joy Academy are all about rampaging, because we know, like from science, the things that increase our joy are gratitude, loving kindness meditations, being in awe,
Mm-hmm.
um, savoring. So Paolo and I, we always, because he's still in the States just now, we phone each other in the morning, then at night, we'll savor all the great things that happened in our day. We'll really go into big detail. What we normally do is go into big detail about everything that's not working. That's when we should be going general, right? We just go general on that. But when we go
Mhm.
in detail about the good stuff, that creates more good stuff. Also, he sends me a morning song. So, that's just so beautiful. Music's a big part of Joy. What's music gets us into feeling good so fast, and it makes a radical emotional change in our minds. And the science behind music and healing is just phenomenal, isn't it? But that's a different podcast.
But it's so important, the music
Yes.
and singing.
Yeah,
Singing
music and
and
singing.
just moving that vibration.
Yes, yes.
My dad used to, he
Oh,
was,
yeah.
he
Tell
was,
us about your dad.
oh, well, he was an eternal optimist, and I was
Yes.
so lucky to have had him as a role model. And he would say, he would sing this song that I've been singing more so lately, which is, "You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with Mr. In Between."
Very
And
good, very good. Yes, the
thank
same laughter
you.
yoga. Very good, very good.
And
Yeah. I
sometimes
love
I'll
it.
do that, if I'm feeling like, I need a little, come on,
Yeah.
and that will get me going. And yeah, so music.
Oh, so beautiful.
Back to your.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And the thing is about getting the song that I'm listening to a lot at the moment is Elbow. And I actually use it elbow. It goes, uh, open those curtains wide. No, do you know it?
I don't know it.
No.
Sing, keep going.
Oh no, a day like this, just open those curtains wide. Uh, uh, one day like this. I can't even remember it, but I've been listening to it a lot, especially because I'm just coming back from having an affection and I really noticed my mood drop. So
Mm,
I really had intentionally to
mm.
uh, listen to this piece of music 3 times a day, just actually get into the feels and feel it. And if you want, you can even add it to your rampages that you do. You can even have the music playing as you're rampaging. So you're just rampaging on what's going right, and you just start from where you are. I love my purple ring. I love that I just got my nails done there. I love that I'm feeling better. I love that I've got my window open 360 and I can hear the blackbirds, and I spotted a wee robin, my wee favourite robin earlier. I love that I bought myself some flowers the other day. I love that my boyfriend and I are going to Costa Rica in August again, where we want to retire. I love that I've changed about and got a wee bit of variety in the flat, because that helped me feel a wee bit better when I had that infection. Love that I'm talking to Amy after 2 years. And you just do that. You just talk about what you love. And
And
the
it
great thing,
stimulates all those parts of the brain
yeah,
that are connected to the other
yeah,
creativity and gratitude and love and
yeah,
joy. All of them start firing.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
is
you
this a
know the great
practice?
thing about that, because it's an Abraham Hicks manifestation technique. But you know the great thing about it is you do it when you're feeling good. How often do we wait until we feel really rubbish before
Mm,
we do something kind to ourselves?
oh, you're
Kind
right.
for ourselves, or something like we'll wait until we're really, we really need it. Whereas when we're feeling good, we accentuate it with a rampage. And
Okay.
then that's like beginning with the end in mind. We're wanting more joy, so we do it when we're feeling good, right? But if we're not feeling good and we really are in the doldrums, right? And we're feeling really miserable, and that's natural, even when I was kicking off the Scottish Women's Wellbeing Summit, there was a reporter there, and the reporter was from the Scotsman. And I didn't know that she was in the audience, but I asked everybody when was the last time they experienced joy. And the reporter wrote the article and said that the woman sitting beside her hadn't experienced joy since she had given birth, right?
Oh, oh, wow.
You know? So it is, when people are listening and they go, well, I haven't felt joy forever and a day. That lady, there is a lot of people, who are not able to access joy and don't know how to access joy. But it all starts with knowing that you deserve joy.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve joy, and knowing that, you deserve to fill your joy cup up, even although this is happening, even although that's happening. I deserve to do things that fill my joy cup up. But anyway, this is a really nice one for when you're not feeling so good, because when you're not feeling so good, you're thinking all the what ifs, aren't you? What
Mm-hmm.
if I don't get better?
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm like this for the rest of my life?
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm not able to get out the house? What if I'm never able to get back to my job? Give me some what ifs that you had, Amy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. What if I'm never going to be able to go fishing again or go hiking or I mean, my life is could be over. And I felt like I was having to just succumb to that. It was just
Yeah.
well, it
What
was
if
so
my
sad.
life's over? What if I never change? What if I
Yeah.
never get back to where I
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
So whenever we feel a wee what if, we change that quickly. And
Mm-hmm.
it is a habit. We change it
Mm.
to, wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah.
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 Wouldn't it be nice if I got outside? Wouldn't it be nice if I met my pals for a coffee? Wouldn't it be nice if this was life changing for me? Wouldn't it be nice if this brought so much goodness and learning into my life? Wouldn't it be nice if I was even more appreciative of everything because I'd been through what I'd been through?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice? And we just, you change, because at that point you can't do the, oh, I love this, I love that, if you're feeling rubbish. Because the thing about joy is, we can't trick our nervous system, right? We can't trick our nervous
Mm.
system. We're saying something that we don't believe. Oh, I'm feeling
Yeah.
really joyful today, like sticking the happy face on. We
No.
can't do that. We can't do that.
Yeah.
Because we want to trust ourselves. We want to, trust the things that we say, right?
Right.
So
That is
yeah,
such an important one to just, won't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be nice? And that feels
wouldn't
a
be,
little more gentle and a little bit
yeah,
more, a little easier on the
yeah.
system and not as like, come on, let's be happy.
Yeah, that's how, and our nervous system's not ready for that. And you can do
No,
it when you're in the car, you can do it when you're in the post office queue, you can do it, before you pick up the phone to talk to maybe somebody medical, just to get
sure.
yourself in a really, really nice state. And
Yeah.
another thing that we do, which is a really good one, we always talk about habitual joy, so that we're wanting to get into the joy habit on a daily basis with just the simple things, right?
Okay.
So I'll ask people, what's something that you do every day and you don't miss it, right? So what's something that you would do, Amy, every day you don't miss?
Walk my dogs.
You walk your dog, right?
Mm,
For other people, it might be making their tea, it might be brushing their teeth, right?
mhm.
It might be waking up,
Right? For sure.
it might
Sure.
be as early as that, right? When we're waking up, like we want to change our state as soon as we wake up. So we accentuate the joy with that. We just mentally, as like, I'm turning the volume up on joy on this simple, tiny, tiny thing. I'm going to get every ounce of joy out of this brushing my teeth. I'm going to
Okay.
love every bit of it. I love I've got teeth. I love I've got lips. I love I can talk. I'm going to get, we don't need to say it, but we get
Right.
every bit of joy, right, out of
Oh,
what we're doing. And that means, because we're doing that every single day, even if we don't have something nice that's happened to us, we have practiced that. We've practiced habitually feeling joy at that thing. And we just imagine that bubbling bliss coming up through our toes,
yeah.
coming up through our knees, coming up all the way up. And it's just filling us up. It's making us feel so expansive. It's making us feel like we belong to the world, that we're truly connected to the world. It just feels so, so amazing. And if you need a wee bit of help with it, play your favorite track while you're doing that thing, so that you're getting the memory of, you know, so
Yeah.
you're doing it, and you just make a practice of it, the most boring wee thing that you do every single day,
Oh my
you
gosh,
know.
I just love that because it's already something you're doing. So you've opened the door. The door is already open. So you're just taking it and just building
Yeah,
on that. Oh,
yeah,
I just love that.
I love it
Brushing
too.
my
I do
teeth
it in
is
the
never
shower.
gonna. never going to be the same. Brushing my teeth is just going to get better and better.
I like to do it in the shower, right? Because Dr. Kataria, the founder of Laughter Yoga, he said that when he was traveling all over the world, he actually got very lonely, and he was like, "Oh, I'm here teaching laughter and being in nice emotional states, and I'm lonely and I'm miserable. I'm missing my family." So he would go for a shower and imagine it was all the laughter coming in the shower. As soon as he turned the shower on, that was lots of laughter. So for me, I turn it on and I'm just that bubbling bliss, that moment when I left the ashram, when I was just so in tears. And then I got that feeling a lot. I just like get right back into it. And I
Mm,
want to move house at the moment. I want to move out my flat. So see the minute I open, I'm in a tenement, an old tenement flat in Glasgow. So it's up 51 stairs. So see the minute I open my door and I'm climbing my stairs, I'm getting more excited. I'm getting more excited. I'm getting more excited because I'm there. I'm in my house. You know what I mean? I'm in this new house, right?
oh,
Delusional. We have to be delusional about our joy until it becomes really, really part of who we are, right? And I had a
oh,
long history of anxiety and depression for decades, that and it was part of my past because I wouldn't be so um so passionate about joy and about love and about connection and belonging if I hadn't been in that place. But I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be totally void
mm,
of joy and to be so serious
well,
and to
sure.
think that life isn't working out for you.
Yeah. And I,
And when you're miserable, when you're miserable, you bring in so much miserable. You have the most awful conversations with people.
mhm,
You get
because you're
park.
focused. You're
Yeah,
focused
do you
on
know,
it.
it's the first sign for me. See if I get a parking ticket, I'm like, oh, better get back into alignment there. Don't
Yeah,
know, you
yeah.
know what I mean? Get a parking ticket. Oh, there you are. Better big up the joy cup.
Oh, I love that. Well, and I think it's so important for people to hear that I think I've heard, and I think I'm guessing that you've heard, the term toxic positivity.
Yes,
Well,
I wrote an article in the Herald newspaper
oh,
about
I've
it.
got
So
I've got to
I'll
read.
share the article
Okay.
on toxic positivity.
And
Yeah.
and what I try to explain to people, or from my perspective, is that positivity isn't, and joy just isn't always, come wrapped in a little box with a bow on it and
No.
smile, and it's not this forced happiness. Sometimes
No.
it's this umbrella underneath that. Joy is compassion and vulnerability and even grief, and
Yes.
and being honest with yourself, and maybe crying. I mean, I'm a crier,
Yeah.
like, and I feel
Me
better when I
too. Me
cry.
too. Me
And,
too. Me too.
and we have to be just willing and accepting of all those feelings, because on the other side of moving all that energy is the joy that's there. But you can't just go
Yeah.
from pain and despair to joy. Nobody's saying
No.
do that, but these
Yeah,
gentle methods that you're messaging.
noticing the joy and making a big thing of it, but also we are where we are, and that's okay. We can't be happy when we're beating ourselves up and wanting to be in a different place. So it comes from acceptance, doesn't it? It comes from
Mhm.
acceptance. And actually, what I learned in my journey with that whole journey with anxiety and depression was that your capacity for joy is equal to how much you feel all the yucky.
Ah,
It's
right.
not about it's exactly, you've just nailed it, Amy. It's not about putting joy up there. It's about, that lovely Rumi poem,
Mm.
the guest house.
Oh, yeah,
It's just about
welcoming.
welcoming all the emotions and being okay with the emotions because you know that you can move up the joy scale, but
Yeah,
only if you feel what you're feeling,
right.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, that's a
important.
whole other podcast.
Yeah, yeah. I have a feeling we have about 10 of them in us to
But it's so true. It's like having a cry. My boyfriend bought me this big fluffy blanket and it's got puppies on it. And when I feel it coming in my throat, I'm like, oh, blanket. And I just get on the floor. I get the blanket on me. I get the knees up and I just go for it because I know crying is my way back home. Crying
Oh,
is my way back home. And so for so long, when I had depression, anxiety, I was numb. I was numb to everything,
mm,
and now I rejoice in that I can feel anger. I can feel, in fact, one of the ladies in the Joy Academy, she said, the rage that she's been able to feel and express has been so healthy for her because she never felt safe enough to express that rage. I'll tell you another thing she said. 6 months in, she said, I can't believe the difference not stopping saying sorry has meant to my well-being, has made a difference to my well-being. Because we make it a pact, and we don't say sorry, right? Oh,
okay.
thank you for reminding me about that. Thank you for waiting on me. Thank you for this. But because when we're powerless and we're ill and we don't feel well, we're saying sorry all the time, aren't we?
Yes, yes.
So
Oh, that's so important. So you say, instead of saying I'm sorry, you say thank you.
yeah.
You
Well, do you know what inspired it was I read an article, and I haven't been able because I've tried to find it a couple of times. It was ages ago I read an article because I'm a recovering people pleaser, and I read an article with this woman. I think it was the New York Times, and she for a whole year she didn't say sorry. She said, thank you for waiting on me. Thank you for reminding me about that. Thank you for, changed it to gratitude, right? And of course, there are times we have to say sorry, right?
sure,
But
sure,
when
but not
when we're
habitually.
making it a habit,
Yeah.
then that's not really a good thing. And also another thing that was really interesting for me when I was getting better was the sound sensitivity,
Mm,
like,
I had that
not being
too.
able to, you had that too, not being able
Yeah.
to have, that kind of, oh,
Yeah.
it's too much. Yeah, when I was delivering my events, it was so noisy and
Mm,
I didn't have that. Why didn't I
really?
have that? Because I was in joy. I was
Yes.
in joy and I felt safe,
Right.
you
So when
know,
the nervous system is
regulate.
in danger, then all those things are insults.
Yeah,
But when we can calm that and we can
yeah.
quiet the mind, and then it restores our ability to connect with
Yeah.
joy.
One of our ladies, she went to see Gorilla, a concert, a big music concert. She hadn't been to a concert for 3 years, and she'd taken her noise cancelling headsets. And she said the same thing. She said, I didn't need my headset. And I said,
Uh,
because you were enjoy. You were loving every minute of it,
yeah.
right?
Oh
So
man.
even although we've got this sensitivity when we're unwell, joy can surprise us when we're
Hmm.
feeling safe, right?
We're
When we're
open
feeling
for,
love for ourselves, right?
yeah. Oh my goodness. So tell me more about some of the when you do some of this corporate workshops and some of the techniques
Yes.
in that. I mean, I remember seeing a video one time of people were lying on the ground and somebody had their head on
Oh, that was
somebody's.
the laughter yoga training,
I
right?
mean,
Yeah.
you can't help but just
Yeah.
get a kick out of that and just laugh just
Yeah,
thinking
like
about that
moving the
image.
diaphragm, right? Moving
Okay.
the diaphragm up and down. We actually did, the first time I did that was at drama school, actually, but it
Okay.
is part of the laughter yoga training. I don't do the laughter yoga training anymore. I kind of moved into more keynote speaking and stuff like that. I'm 18 years on, right? So I did train people in laughter yoga for about 14 years there, but mostly it's keynotes and wellness workshops. And well, I'll just tell you what I've been up to the last week and that'll give you a wee
Please.
flavour.
Yes.
So we just finished the trauma-informed parenting project, and that was finding your joy again through self-compassion.
Oh,
And that was an online project, and that was to help parents with kids who had autism, ADHD, trauma, to help them feel better about themselves so they could be better parents and use the techniques with their wee ones as well. So we use a lot of somatic hand in the heart, a lot of music, a lot of reflective writing and journaling and Yeah, and laughter, of course, we use a lot of that, and they were phenomenal. That's the second time it's been funded, and it's so interesting because Suzanne, anybody who is, it's an international community, so there's 40,000 people in it, Facebook group,
Right.
and Suzanne, who's the CEO, is an ex-hairdresser, and
Mhm.
she was a foster carer, and so she came to one of the Joyworks sessions, and her chronic pain in her shoulder went. And so she then got funding to bring me into her community. So that's the second time that we've been funded, and it's such a joy. And her workshops on their own, her workshops that she delivers, trauma informed, 98% of parents, carers, and educators say that their homes are happier
Oh,
after they've done it. Just phenomenal. It's all the Brian Post stuff. It's so lovely. So did that. And then SSE, big energy company here in Scotland, did a lot of work with them over the years. And it was interesting when I emailed her to say, look, you want me back. She said, Sharon, we're going through a lot of changes. So bringing you in for joy and laughter is maybe not going to sit right. So I have a 20 minutes to calm, 30 minutes to calm, 40 minutes to calm, and that's all self-compassion and breath work and mindfulness. So that's that one. And then yeah, and then we've got the Joy Academy, and I love the diversity of people that I get to work with, because on Thursday night there, um, I delivered a workshop for Bags of Joy community. So these are people who buy luxury handbags. Sarah Hannon is a Scottish lady who gave up her job as a COO and left her company to design luxury handbags. And she's really amazing at what she does. And she's got this big international community. So I did How to Keep Yourself Joyful talk with her Bags of Joy community. So it's always very varied. It's always varied. And in May, I'm speaking at a health and wellbeing conference, and this is for nursery teachers. There's going to be 250 nursery teachers there. And
wow.
I'm an ex-teacher, and I did have a nursery that I led, and I had five nurseries, and I couldn't have done my job without them. Honestly, I'm here, I'm scared of them. I'm all over the place. See these nursery teachers? Oh, they help me. I would send the kids out and with the wrong jackets and the wrong bags, and these nursery nurse teachers saved my bacon so many times. So they did. So it's going to be such a joy to go and speak to them about creating more joy in their environment, because they're bringing the wee ones, they're nurturing the wee one. It can be a really thankless task teaching. And what was really, really lovely, the reason they're getting me to speak is because they went back to their staff in North Ayrshire Council and asked what had been the most impactful. And it was Joyworks in
Oh,
2008,
oh my
2008 when I
goodness.
first started. So this is me getting to speak at the conference, and I love that. I love getting invited back. I always learn. I'm always growing. And to be able to get to do what I absolutely love again is just phenomenal. It really is. It's just so great, and to see the difference it makes long term as well. To people's health and happiness, and it's just great. It's just great.
Oh, well, the fact that you're just out there so much. And for
Yes,
those that are listening that aren't,
yes,
aren't able to go to some of these conferences,
yes.
they can get on Facebook and follow you there, and you have some
Yeah.
program or
So
something there where they can
yes,
get a little
you
bit
know,
of in case they don't remember exactly these techniques,
I'm a wee bit
and they
old.
need to be helped, to be accountable too, it
Yeah,
helps
well, what
to.
I can do, Amy, is I can give a wee joy trigger list to your listeners. So, we joy trigger list with the
Okay.
techniques on them. So any of the listeners, I could do that. But yeah, I'm on Facebook. Joyworks on Facebook. I'm a wee bit. I'm not an Insta girl, but I am on Insta. It's Joyworks Make Joy Work, and it's Joyworks underscore Make Joy Work. Joyworks underscore Make Joy underscore work. How complicated is that? I need to change it, right? I need to change it. You can see I'm not an Instagram chick. And then I'm on LinkedIn. I had a free Facebook community, which is what you had taken part in the lives. I had a free Facebook community for 16 years.
Okay.
And it was a phenomenal space. I loved it. But when I got sick, I decided to make that a paid membership. So that's a Joy Academy membership there.
Okay.
So that's an international community there. It's a small, beautiful. I would pay them to come. Don't listen to anybody that I mean, they're just so amazing. They're just so inspirational. So they are. Yeah. So that's kind of. I'm on TikTok as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it'd be great to connect with your listeners. Great to see what they thought of the techniques as well,
Well,
because
yeah, I
those are the
mean,
ones that those are the ones that come back that people say, just being able to remind myself to hug, to rampage, wouldn't it be nice? And then of course there's the laughter. And I mean, you've been bringing laughter to your audiences right from the beginning. So I'm
well,
excited about that.
I've been trying to, as you were saying, and that's going to happen here in a minute, which I'm very excited about. Um, so just before we go on to that, I just want to make sure I've asked everything. Well, like I said, I don't think I'm going to have asked everything
Oh,
in this episode. There's going
yes.
to be more to come, but
I think we've covered a lot
we've
of it,
covered so much,
right?
making the commitment to
Yes,
practice joy, finding a daily routine in
yes,
little ways, depending on where you are, whether you are can't access joy at all. And I mean, I remember, I think I'd mentioned this to you before we started
yeah,
recording, that I was sitting on the couch when I had long
yeah.
COVID and I was just in the depths. And I was on my phone looking at its Instagram and I came across a funny animal video. And I started kind of chuckling and going to the
Uh-huh.
next one and chuckling more. And my husband said that was the first time he had heard me laugh in 3, 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
just needed just a little bit to just,
yeah.
and depending
And
on,
you know the brilliant thing about that is because on the Gupta, I forgot to mention Gupta, but I delivered in sessions on the Gupta program. I heard Ashok said he was bringing laughter therapy. I was on the Gupta program, well, long COVID, and I heard that he was bringing laughter therapy, and I said, well, it's got to be me. It's got to be me.
yeah.
It's got to be me. But I remember, that whole thing, our brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So even if we are watching really funny pet videos or watching beautiful nature scenes, or YouTube was such a gift to me when I was
Mhm.
really unwell. Our brain doesn't know the difference, right? So,
Mm,
and we've got to remember as well that our brain's got a negativity bias,
mhm,
right? So we're not at fault for always looking for the negative, because our brain is designed that way, right? I
mhm.
loved it when I heard that. It like really helped me. Like, I'm off the hook here, right? And the research with the whole broaden and build, she said 3 positive experiences for 1 negative experience. So even thinking of like making a wee list of all the things that bring you joy, and then when you're thinking of something negative, it's like, right, no, list of things that bring you joy.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and you
Um,
have to kind of put your foot down, say, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna steer
Yeah,
into
change
this.
it. It's
You
so
have to.
easy to go down that loop, right? Our brain has been trained to go down that what if route so many times that we really need to intentionally create it. And I mean it's all that saving and stuff about noticing the small things, and we can change our state, that same way with our breath,
Yeah.
even when we do our breathing, the 2, 4, 6 or the 4, 6, 7 breathing,
Yeah.
that changes our state. You know, like a wee permit. We just give ourselves a wee permission set. What would feel slightly better today? Right? What would feel slightly better today? And the Joy Academy just now, actually, we're talking about moving up the emotional scale, joy being at the top, frustration being at the bottom, and the wee thoughts and steps that we can take from one to the other, because we're
Mhm.
never going to leap, but we can leap with the laughter. We can leap with the laughter. Oh, and there's another one I wanted to share, if we've got time, or will
Yes,
we keep
yes.
that for a, will we keep that for
No,
another one?
come on. I want to hear.
All right. Well, this is brilliant because it does link into the whole gratitude, being in awe, savoring, all of that, and it's the Sean Anchor. Have you heard of it?
The what? The what?
Sean Arca. I'm thinking, Amy, maybe we need to get subtitles on this because I do talk very fast.
It might not be a bad idea, but I don't know. Just listening to you talk, sometimes I think if I just spoke with a Scottish accent and I was more like you, I could like vicariously bring more joy. I'll just start walking around pretending I'm from Scotland.
Oh, oh no, not at all. Your accent's beautiful and so
Oh,
calm, and it's like chocolate. I actually talk with an English accent when I'm talking to AI because otherwise it won't pick it up. So I talk
really?
like that on ChatGPT. Yes, I talk like that because he doesn't get the scores. But yeah, the doubler is something that is a really, really brilliant one that brings in all the savor and the gratitude, the appreciation. And so Sean Anker from the Happiness Advantage research, Harvard University research, um, tested this. So just 2 minutes. At Joyworks, we're all about just tiny wee things, just 2 wee minute triggers, right? And this is a brilliant one. So 2 minutes every day, you think of one positive experience that's occurred, and you bullet point each detail you can remember.
Mm,
Right? So
okay.
what you've done is you've doubled the most meaningful experience in your brain. And as we've said, we do it for 21 days. Our brain starts connecting the dots.
I love it.
Then we have this trajectory, a meaning running through our life. We get to know because joy is different for everybody. The research tells us this. It depends on our background, it depends on our culture, it depends on our relationships, it depends on so many different things, joy. So joy is different for everybody. But this wee activity here, it teaches us what does give us meaning, right? And here's the brilliant one for anybody with pain,
Right.
because the University of Texas showed that chronic fatigue, pain, neuromuscular disease, they did this for 6 weeks in a row, right? Sorry, they did it 6 months later. They dropped the pain medication by 50%.
I mean, we have the medicine in our body, the
We
chemicals,
do.
endorphins, if we just learn
Yeah.
to access them and mm, wonderful.
Yeah. Doubler. It's called the doubler. So it's a brilliant one,
Doubler. So
especially if
you write down an activity or an experience that you had that day that was wonderful, and then bullet point
bullet point
4 or 5
what made it
things
so.
that,
Yeah, bullet point what things. So it's a wee bit, we all know about the power of gratitude, about
yeah,
writing 3 different things, but it's a wee bit different for that because we're bullet pointing the things, and yeah, we're bullet pointing it so that we're seeing, right, here
the
are when we look
details.
back at the details, we think, all right, so that's what really brings me joy. That's what really creates lots of joy for me, right?
And then the brain
Yeah.
will, the next
Yeah,
time,
look for
key
it.
in that. It'll look for it.
I'll look
Ah,
for it, yeah.
that was a
And
good
then that's
one.
especially good if your energy's not there to do the rampage and but quite often I'll rampage inside my head, or I'll do the wouldn't be nices inside my head. But if your energy is a wee bit low, then just jotting down at the end of the day, on a wee doubler. I've got a lovely wee journal with a robin on it, and that's my doubler book. That's the one that I do all my doubling in.
I
Oh,
love it. I love it.
yeah.
Oh, so wonderful. Okay,
Yes.
Sharon. So, as you know, and as you
Yes.
mentioned, my past interviews, I like to end on laughing together. And I'll admit, it's always been a bit uncomfortable for me because I don't know if I'm quite doing it right. And the person I'm interviewing is kind of like, oh, so I am so glad that you are going to
Yeah.
lead this one. I can learn from you, and the listeners can get a
Oh,
pro teaching them
well,
the best way.
I think that you get everybody to laugh so beautifully,
Oh,
and I mean, laughter's contagious. The minute you laugh, you just set up the laughter for somebody else, even if they're not feeling it to begin with.
yeah.
They feel it during it, They feel like they see your eyes shining, they see you getting flushed and all of that. So it's great. But I will teach you one that's it's a Dr. Kataria laughter yoga one. And so what's the biggest thing that robs our happiness?
Hmm. The biggest thing that robs our happiness?
Yeah, our joy, our happiness. What's the biggest thing, would you say?
Oh, I don't know. I guess.
Would you say it's our thinking?
Well,
Usually,
yes, for
yeah,
sure.
it's
I didn't
so
know which
simple.
thing. I'm
It's
like, well, is it that
yeah,
thought or
you
that
know,
thought? But yes, thinking,
yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Yes.
Some people, and when I'm in the workplace, some people say, "Oh, it's my boss, it's my kids,
Yeah, yeah, that's
it's
kind of what I
my
was.
yeah, it's my boss, it's my kids, it's the weather," and I'm like, "Ooh, is it your boss? Is it the weather? Is it your kids?" Or is it your thoughts about your weather, your whatever? Right. So it's our thinking, right? It's our
Right. Yes,
thinking.
yes, yes.
So instead of tooth floss, right, we bit of tooth floss,
Uh-huh.
we do a bit of mental floss, right?
Uh,
Getting rid of all those negative thoughts, right?
okay.
Because they rob our happiness. So here we go. So we just pretend that we've got the mental floss and we just laugh our heads off. Ready? Very good, very good. Yeah. Or you
Uh,
can simply just point to yourself. Like, how seriously do we take ourselves? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho,
yeah.
ho. Here we
Uh,
are.
and I remember, I don't know when you did this, but just watching you go like this.
Yeah, I always say in all my workshops, it doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm with the big wigs, it was all the health and safety. It was all the last SSE event that I did. It was occupational health leader, mental health leader, the forensic health leader, and they were all in this room. And I had a bit of imposter syndrome. I was like, oh my God. But before long, I had them all going a wee wiggle, give me a wiggle.
Give me a wake
Give
up.
me a wiggle if you think I've got the best dimples for the job. It just gets everybody feeling really playful, you
Well,
know?
talk about taking the seriousness out of,
Yeah.
being playful, just being,
Yeah, get a wee wiggle. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
wee wiggle. I'll do one more before you go. This is one of my favorites. It's a wee joy shock. So you're seeing somebody in the house, and they're getting a bit down in themselves, they're not feeling so good. You just put your fingers out like this and you touch their fingers. So imagine that we are from Montana to Glasgow, Amy. We are just getting our fingers, right? And we're just touching them. And when we touch them, we get a wee joy shock and we just we come back. Ready? So here we go. Ready and
Okay. Well, I love that you called it joy shock because when I was sick and there were times that, I'd try to get a little laugh, a little, touch it, and I
yeah.
couldn't. And then I started taking cold showers and talk about a shock, but it made me realize that there were times that I needed to, and I referred to it as joy shocking. Like I would
Yes.
just have to like,
Yes.
come on, we're doing it. My husband would tickle me or something, or the
Yes.
cold shower. And sometimes we have to kind of jolt our systems a little bit if our
I
nervous system
love it. I
is,
love it because
but
that's where all the fun is outside our comfort zone, isn't it?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
outside our comfort zone. I
yeah.
love it. I
Well,
love
joy
that you're
shock. Now
doing
I
the joy
know how
shock.
I can really get a joy
Ah,
shock. Oh,
yeah, a
Sharon,
lot
thank
of
you
fun.
so,
Thank
so
you so
much for
much.
being here. This has been just
Yeah.
such a pleasure, and I can't wait until the next time we meet. And you've mentioned a couple
I don't know
places.
whether we've got anything else to talk about,
Oh,
actually,
well,
Amy.
I think I can come up with some stuff. I
Yeah,
bet
we'll
I
come
can
up
come
with
up.
some stuff. You come up with really, really good questions. I
Oh,
loved your
well,
questions.
well,
Yeah,
thank
they really
you.
made me think as well. Because your question was, what about safety? No, what was your question about experiencing joy? Oh, the negativity when you're being serious and you're in burnout, and
Yes.
then what was it? It was like, you can't experience joy unless you're in the rest, in the parasympathetic system. We can't. It was a question like that, and I thought, gosh, you're actually right. You're right. When we feel safe, we can experience joy. Yes, it was a great question.
Oh, well, good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I think I had
Yeah.
emailed you some th questions that I was going to ask and then probably went on to some other questions that I was going to
Oh
ask.
no,
So,
they're great. I think we covered everything. We covered
okay.
everything.
Okay,
So
good. Well,
fantastic.
and I will put down in the show notes where people can find you, your website and
Yes.
Facebook and they can hire you to do a keynote, be a keynote
Oh yeah, and we
speaker.
can do a lot of virtual stuff, in the workplace. In fact, International Happiness Day has just passed. It's World Health Day in April. April is Stress Awareness Month. They're good times to get Joyworks in, getting everybody feeling. The things that I always hear is, I can't believe everybody joined in. Um, I feel that the weight of the world's been lifted off my shoulders,
Oh,
and I feel on top of the world. They're the kind of things that I hear, and I think so many people are working, away from one another. They're really missing that connection with their
sure,
colleagues.
sure.
When they're
Yes.
doing the working from home has its
Yeah.
benefits, but also a lot of people are feeling isolated as well, right?
Yes, yes, and that
Mm.
plays into the burnout that we were just talking about that,
Yeah,
it happens gradually before you know it. Oh, you're just,
yeah,
and so it's, just kind of crawling
yeah,
out and reaching out in these ways, even if it is just from your computer and being able to
yeah.
hear your joyful, happy voice.
Oh, thank you. What a joy. What a
Uh,
joy.
well, thank you again so much.
Let's look
And
for the good and we'll find
yes, we
it.
will, and we will lift each other up and
Yeah, we're all in this together. We're all
yeah.
in it. My grandpa, who was my hero, he always used to say, "We're all Jock Tamson's bairns," you know? We're all Jock
Oh.
Tamson. Yeah, and you're a meditation teacher. That I love that line. We don't go home until we all go home together, you
Mhm.
know?
It's so true. We are all one, and so often we
Yeah,
feel isolated and that we're in it alone. But if we remember that we're all in this together, and even just
yeah.
giving somebody a little smile on the street, how contagious that can be. And
Oh my gosh, that's such a aha. Do you know the story? Oh, okay, that's for another one, right?
okay, here we go.
I won't go, but there's one quote that I'll finish with. It's just Thomas Merton one. I hope I can find it. The Thomas Merton one, and it's all about if only they knew the beauty of who they were, they would fall down on their knees and worship one another, right?
Oh,
Do you know
right.
that one?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. And
it's such a beautiful one. We'll put it in the show notes. I can't
okay,
find it quickly
okay.
just now, but it is a beautiful one. If we could all just look into each other's eyes and see the beauty of who we all really were,
Yeah,
we would
just
fall
pause.
down on our knees and we would
Uh,
weep with one another. It's just so beautiful,
So,
isn't
and it
it?
is just we just stop long enough to
Yeah,
just shift to joy, shift to awe, shift to appreciation to one another. I mean,
yeah.
we can do it. We can do it.
We
We're
can do it.
trying.
We've got the power. You started the podcast with the exact thing, with the belief. It all starts with that belief.
Yeah,
That belief. I can be more joyful on a daily basis.
yeah,
You know?
sure
Yeah.
can. Well, wonderful to see you. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your week. And I really look forward to next time.
Brilliant. Thanks so much,
Okay.
Amy.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Pleasure and a privilege. What a joy.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.